Hey guys, this is Nina with Get Right Nina, and this is the second video that I said I wanted to make for the men because I got a little hard on them on the last video. And no, I'm not wearing the same clothes. It's just that this is the second video I'm recording, just so you know. I always start off by saying thank you and please forgive me. I noticed that in my videos, my eyes, I wear glasses, guys, and when I'm looking at the camera, sometimes I'm always adjusting my eyes like a lens. It's terrible, but I just wanted to get into this. The last video I made was about racial profiling and kind of having judgments in relationships, and I got on the brothers about stepping their game up for women. But now I want to encourage the men, black, white men, period. And the reason why I wanted to encourage men, especially brothers, is because I have a son who's been in trouble, and I've dealt with it as a generational thing, and understanding generational curses, and I've seen a lot of black men get themselves in trouble. They come home and they may have a record, or they will have a record, and oftentimes it's hard for them to gain employment. But I wanted to encourage the men to say, you have gifts and talents, okay? And when you're young and you're born and you're young and you're living in an environment that you don't see a way out, a lot of times you end up looking, and especially if you don't have a father, you end up looking, and I know because I deal with it with my son, okay? We make, as women, sometimes poor judgment in the decisions that we make in regards to a person that we decide to be with. And then even worse, we end up knowing we're not married, allowing them to father a child with us. And as a result, a lot of times these children grow up to not have what that is to be modeled in front of them as far as a strong male presence. And so they look for love, and mom gives it, but a lot of times it's inadequate because God designed a family for a reason. A child needs the love of a mother, the nurturing of a mother, so that he or she has this well-rounded sensitive side, but they also need the strength of a father, the wisdom, the guidance and direction of a father. And so when men don't have that, they look for that, just like how when we're rejected or when we don't feel good about ourselves, we look for any kind of affirmation outside of ourselves, because if we could find it within ourselves, we wouldn't struggle. That's what we think, we assume. And men kind of do the same thing. And I'm not a man, of course, thank God, because y'all have your own struggles just like we do. But I've been around enough men. Most times I rather be in a group of men than with a bunch of women. And I have a son who's grown, and I know what that was like for him. And men a lot of times will look for that affirmation in their circle, their social circles, their groups, their boys, their homies, whatever you want to call them. And so if they have a solid group of male partners to connect with, and that affirmation will be given in a positive, constructive way. But if they end up clinging to the wrong group of people, then that influence will be negative. And so because that influence is there, and because those habits are formed, and because those mindsets are formed, a lot of times it's hard for them to break away from that lifestyle once they're no longer connected to those partnerships. You could take a guy and move him, your child. Okay, I'm gonna move to this nice prestigious neighborhood so that he doesn't have this. He'll still magnetically pull that unless his mindset is renewed or changed. And so when he gets in trouble, a lot of times the pain of that trouble hurts him at first, but if he hasn't fully renewed, when he comes home, he might run into the same people. Or because men are, their ego and their pride is everything. I try to get women to understand that. A man needs to have his ego, who he is, his identity, reaffirmed time after time. It's not about him being a boy or about him being a kid. He needs support and strength just like you as a woman do, if you're watching this. But when he doesn't get that, And then his boys telling him, man, come on, man. I know you home. I know you want this blunt. I know you want these chicks. I mean, come on. I know a lot of times then what'll happen is he'll end up falling weak to that. You know, he doesn't mean to. He doesn't intend to. When he's in excuse me guys, when he's in his mind, that's all he's thinking of. When I get home, I want to do better. When I get home, I'm going to do better. But when he falls for that trap of the okie doke of, let me put my glasses on so I won't keep doing the stretchy eyes. When he falls for the trap of, I don't want to look like a punk. I don't want to look weak. He ends up making poor choices. He ends up doing the same thing. And people don't understand it. They be like, oh, you must have a boyfriend in there. And some dudes do got boyfriends in there. I mean, let's keep it 100. Unfortunately, if you don't see no kuka, eventually you gonna touch something too. I mean, that's just keeping it. We were designed for intimacy and sex, okay? Let's just keep it 100. You can't be that holy where you don't understand that. You get it. We were designed to procreate, and if you can't procreate, you'll do what comes natural next to that, unfortunately, even if it's wrong. And so when that man is there and then now he has to face all these things, a lot of times they feel self-defeated. They feel defeated. And so I wanted to make this video to tell you, men, you guys are so amazing. God made you as the head. He loved you. He created you and designed you with so many gifts, so many talents and skills. It's unreal. It's unreal. It really is. You just have to tap into that. Don't blame the man, because it wasn't the man going out on the block. Yes, okay, there you might feel like, okay, the man set me up to an unfair advantage, and you are absolutely right about that. But you don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to stay in those obstacles. You don't have to accept that as it is. You can say, you know what? I see your trap right there. I got you. You good. I'm gravy. I see you. I'm good. But a lot of times you guys will walk and say, I see you, but unfortunately don't always make the strongest choice or always make the right choice. Ladies, if that's the case for your man, support him if you see him really making an effort to change. Don't down him. Don't talk about he's not bringing in enough money. Don't bash him. If he's trying and he's staying safe and he's staying out, support him. Brothers, don't come home and just blame the man but then not do anything. Come home. If there's something you can't do, or if they won't give you a job, create one for yourself. Because I'm at the point now where I'm in the position where I have to create one for myself. I made some poor choices, and sometimes on paper, people just assume you're the worst. They don't know your story. Life happens. And that's the one thing I hate about corporate America. Business happens to them. Yet when life happens to you, that's why the Bible says we are really slave as a lender, as a borrower, we're slave to the lender. So that's why men, especially brothers, because a lot of times I understand you see your white counterparts come home and then you see them, they know Benson over here. I know I keep using that name. They know Benson got the hookup. Benson know them since they were a little kid. You just a bad boy that fell on hard times. And then Tyrone, let's just keep constantly using that name, come home and can't catch a break. Create a break for yourself. If you know how to do something that can bring some money, talk to your lady. Let her know, baby, I'm never trying to go in there again. If she has some secretarial skills, get you some business cards made. Get you some flyers. Tell your story. Tell your struggle of how you made it over. People will give you a chance. Don't allow your past to keep you stuck and you keep making excuses to do the same thing. Either you want to stay stuck on stupid or you want a chance to change. And God will honor your effort if he sees that you're really sincere about changing and doing what's right. People will work with you. I'm telling you now, I met this lady. She has a cleaning crew. She's a foreigner, and it was hard for her because people want to exploit her and pay her nothing, but people don't want to give her a hand up. So she created one for herself through her own cleaning company. Got her logo, got her t-shirt, got a little truck with a little sticker on it. Did what legally she could do with the help of friends, church people, and now has her own cleaning business. So brothers, be encouraged. I made the last video for the women to encourage them because right now it is what it is. But be encouraged. Create the life that you desire. not the one that you made the mistake of creating before. You can do it. You can change. That's my time. I'm praying for you guys. I love you guys. I'm here. Man, life can be ugly, but guess what? God has given you the opportunity to hold the brush. You get to decide what to paint on the canvas of your life. And even if you have created the most ugly picture, God will give you a fresh slate and a fresh page if only you seek after it and be genuine about it. And if you know that, okay, I still got some struggle and I'm still holding on to some things that I know might get me back in there or might get me in trouble or keep me from really succeeding, then guess what? Evaluate. Is this worth holding on to this toxic living? Or do I want a fresh start? And if you do, take it. Take it with everything that's in you. Fight like hell for your life, okay? That's what people need to do. Fight like hell for your life, okay? Because this is no joke. Life is playing for keeps, and either you're going to win or you're going to lose. Love you guys. Subscribe, share, like, do what it do. Talk to you next time. Bye.